Programming alert, Saints fans. The CEO of This Ish Is More Than a Game, Jono Barnes, is going to be joining us tomorrow, live, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. So I will encourage you to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and tune in so you can help me welcome our special guest, Jono Barnes. Going to be doing a lot of interactive content, a lot of fun stuff. He's going to be very involved. I'm going to be involved as well. Lopez is too. He's going to be rocking and rolling with us. I hope to see you guys there live on Saints Now by Chat Sports, 4 p.m. Central Time with Jono Barnes. We're talking trade rumors here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Brian Robinson Jr., running back, formerly out of Alabama, he has been centered around some trade rumors. And I'll want to just kind of go ahead and say this. I do personally think that bringing in Brian Robinson Jr. is a move that I'd be interested in if it's free agency. Let me just put it that way. I want to just have this conversation because the Saints have been linked to Brian Robinson Jr. Bleacher Report recently put out an article suggesting some different trades, and Brian Robinson Jr. to the Saints was one that they discussed. Here's what they had to say. The Saints should go all in on their ground attack. They have an underwhelming quarterback battle between second-year pro Spencer Rattler and rookie second-rounder Tyler Shuck. Both have turned the ball over in mediocre preseason performances. It is fair to say that the Saints are going to need to lean on that ground attack. It's also fair to say that both quarterbacks have been a little bit underwhelming. So, in terms of what a trade could potentially look like, I'm going to warn you, it's disgusting. This is what Bleacher Report suggested. I want nothing to do with this trade. If it's me, and this is the trade that we're offering, I'm just going to say Isaiah Foskey for Brian Robinson Jr. Just straight up. Just player for player. That's it. Don't overthink this. They could use a little bit of help in the edge rusher department. But in terms of a fourth-round pick, absolutely not. Again, this is not my trade idea. This is Bleacher Report's. I hate this idea. If it was player for player, I could be interested. But adding that fourth-round pick, absolutely not. That is way, way too high a value. What would you do? Would you accept or decline this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline. I want to hear from you, Who Dat Nation. Sound off in the comment section, and I'm going to be responding to y'all in the comments as well. For me, I would offer a 7th-round pick for Brian Robinson Jr. I think that's personally the value I would send. Again, Isaiah Foskey for Brian Robinson Jr., I'm interested in that. But a 7th-round pick is also one that I would be interested in. Not a 6th, not a 5th, not a 4th. The only issue is we don't have a pick in the 7th round in 2026 because the Saints traded their 7th-round pick to the New England Patriots for nose tackle Devon Godshaw. So in case you're sitting here being like, just trade away the 7th, doesn't matter, go get him. Like, you can't. You don't have a 7th-round pick. I'm really not interested in also sending a 6th because at the end of the day, this is a team that needs draft capital, that needs young players. It doesn't matter if they're 1st or 7th-round picks. You got to bring in some youth. You got to bring in some new talent to this roster. And, you can find good players any round at any point in the NFL draft. So personally, I'm in the camp of hold on to your draft pick. 7th-round pick, fine. I can get, okay with that, and I can get on board with it. But again, you don't have one in 2026, so I'm not really interested in a trade for a 6th round or higher. We're going to talk more about Brian Robinson Jr. and why it may make sense, because I do think the Saints could use another running back like Brian Robinson Jr. And before we continue this conversation around potentially adding Brian Robinson Jr. to the New Orleans Saints, we got to say thank you to Chubby's for sponsoring today's video. Saints Now by Chat Sports is sponsored by Chubby's, and summer is winding down, but it's about to be prime time for some day drinking on the patio, watch parties with the boys, college football, Saints football. It's right around the corner. And before you get stuck in jeans and khakis at the pumpkin patch with your lady friend, you got to check out Chubby Shorts. Trust me, fellas, you're going to love them, your girl will love them, and you'll be thanking me later. For a limited time, use our exclusive code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, for $10 off at chubbyshorts.com. Skies out, thighs out, and let the good times roll. Whether you're poolside, lakeside, or oceanside on that long-awaited vacation, These shorts and trunks are ready to travel. You can pair your chubby shorts with a performance polo and you're good to go with a structured collar that stays sharp, 4-way stretch for comfort, and breathable, moisture-wicking fabric. This polo keeps you cool and looking pulled together. It's wrinkle-resistant too, which is perfect because, let's be honest, you weren't going to iron it anyway. Check out the NFL collection. They got some fresh Saints polos, swimsuits, and everything in between. These are absolutely clean. You're going to want these for game days. They're perfect for Bourbon Street, perfect for a night out on Canal, or if you're just tailgating outside of the Dome. I highly encourage you to get some of this gear. You'll be looking absolutely fly. Trust me, fellas, you need this stuff. Whether you're suiting up for cannonballs, cookouts, or a tailgate, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners $10 off your order with our code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com. That's code CHATSPORTS at chubbyshorts.com. Support our show and let them know we sent you. Give summer one last hurrah and keep the good vibes going with Chubbies. All of that information I made clickable in the comments and description of this video. Now, I want to talk about Brian Robinson Jr. because he is a player that could actually make some sense for the New Orleans Saints to add in free agency. Let me emphasize, free agency, I actually could be on board with this addition. Remember, this is the guy, his rookie season, he missed 4 games after suffering a gunshot wound in an attempted carjacking, had an absolutely incredible entrance back on game day. He came out to many men, it was oozing aura. And I'll just say this, Kellen Moore has been really leaning into those guys who respond to adversity. And Brian Robinson Jr. faced massive adversity, has bounced back, and is able to put together not amazing stats over his career, but some pretty good football for the Washington Commanders. I don't think a trade would require much in return. He's getting weeded out in Washington, so honestly, he could even end up getting cut because of how well the running back room is looking for the Commanders. By the way, base salary of only $3.4 million. Saints can't afford that by a lot. Brian Robinson's career stats are as followed. Never eclipsed 800 yards, 8 touchdowns last season for Washington, which you can tell me right now, you don't want to have this on your roster. But when you take a look at what the Saints have in their running back room, I think that there is something to be desired in this department. Kendre Miller, I'm a fan of him. I really, really like watching him play football, but availability is the best ability, and if he can't be ready to go on game days, then you're going to have to look elsewhere. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's brought a lot of juice this preseason. I'm really excited to see if he ends up making the roster. Velus Jones offers some special teams versatility as well. Devin Neal dealing with a little bit of a hamstring injury. Cam Akers has been kind of underwhelming as a free agency addition. So in my opinion, with this running back group, you can add another player. And at roster cutdowns, Brian Robinson Jr. could be that guy who becomes available. And in my opinion, the Saints should potentially explore that option. The Saints will need to lean on the rushing attack in Kellen Moore's offense. Last year, the Philadelphia Eagles were one of the best rushing offenses. Saquon Barkley went absolutely crazy thanks to Kellen Moore's play calling. And this year, it's really not going to be very different. You have two inexperienced passers at the quarterback position. Neither of them, there's not a single quarterback on the way in New Orleans that has logged a win. That's something that's also, you got to lean on the run. Like, I'm not saying that because nobody's won, you got to sign this guy, but you're going to need to lean on the rushing attack. Having a player who's a little bit experienced, bring him in. Maybe he can find some new life. Maybe he can be a guy that kind of helps segue over after Alvin Kamara retires. He can be kind of an experienced back that is around while Devin Neal and Kendre Miller are also getting a lot of reps. So in my personal opinion, I have no desire to trade for Brian Robinson. That being said, if he becomes made available on free agency, I would be all in on that. Do you think that the Saints need to add a running back? I mean, it's no question. The rushing attack is going to be a very pivotal part of the New Orleans Saints offense. So I'm going to say yes, because I don't want to see this offense dip if there are any sort of injuries. Type Y for yes, type in for no. I want to hear from you in the comments. Now, a lot of people like to say, Trace, you always like to sign every player that becomes available. You want to trade for every guy that's on the trade block. That's not true. I wouldn't mind adding Brian Robinson Jr., but again, read this line right here. I'd rather not trade for him. I do believe that he is on the chopping block. Commanders insider Ben Stadig, he predicts Brian Robinson won't make the week 1 roster. So if he ends up being cut, I don't see why the New Orleans Saints shouldn't at least explore this option. That's just my opinion. I'm more interested in Brian Robinson as a free agent. I've made that explicitly clear. And because it's not anything against trading for this kind of player, it's not that it's a bad thing, but like I will say, I just don't think you need to give up a fourth for him. I mean, if it's Isaiah Foskey for him, sure, I could be on board with that, but I also just am a little bit more interested in just signing him if he becomes available as a free agent. But Bleacher Report did throw Isaiah Foskey in on this trade. Let's talk about that idea because I'm not against trading away Isaiah Foskey. The Commanders can throw a dart at Foskey in hopes he can bring something tangible to their pass rush. The Saints selected Foskey in the second round of the 2023 draft. He was 40th overall, by the way. He's only played 147 defensive snaps. The third-year pro could earn more opportunities on a team that could use some youth on the edge. Look, with Isaiah Foskey, he was the all-time sack leader for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He was very, very good for college football for Notre Dame, but just has not translated to the National Football League. Blame some of it on coaching and trying to use him in different ways. Try to blame some of it on him for not developing well. Blame whoever you want, but it's no mystery Isaiah Foskey just hasn't really panned out in New Orleans. I don't even know if he makes the roster. So similar to Brian Robinson, like might as well try to explore a trade, see if somebody wants something for him. Maybe try to recoup a 7th-round pick in return. That could also be an option for Isaiah Foskey. I just don't think that he has much of a future in New Orleans. And that's unfortunate because I was really rooting for him going into this season. I thought with Brandon Staley's defense, I thought with Bo Davis being hired, I thought with how the defense changed, it would fit what Isaiah Foskey did in Notre Dame. It would be very similar, and he would be able to be a much better fit this year, but just hasn't panned out in the preseason, hasn't quite panned out at training camp. It's been really, really quiet for Isaiah Foskey. Now, I want to hear from you who's a player the Saints should trade for. Get in the comment section, share your thoughts. If you don't want to make a trade at all, just say nobody. Don't make a trade whatsoever. That's totally fine as well. Who Dat Nation, I do appreciate you guys for tuning into today's video. Tomorrow, reminder, we are going to be live with Jono Barnes here, 4 p.m. Central Time. I hope to see y'all there. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.